People don't know you have to pay for every belt that you win, there's a sanctioning fee. So now if a fighter was an interim belt, he has to pay a sanctioning fee. If a fighter has just the regular belt, he has to pay a sanctioning fee. Then if a fighter is a super champion, then he has to pay a sanctioning fee. This is not good for the sport of boxing.
Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize? Like, who the fuck you think I am? Boy, you better slap your fucking self. Ain't paying your ass shit. Fuck you talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that
this could end up being one of the biggest controversies boxing has faced in a long time because Terence "Bud" Crawford, who most people call the best fighter in the world, has suddenly lost his championship belts. What makes it even more shocking is that no one agrees on why it happened. Some say it is just business, while others believe it points to a much bigger problem that shows what is broken in boxing today. When the news came out, fighters and fans were stunned. You do not take titles away from someone like Crawford without a serious reason. He stepped into the ring and defeated Canelo Alvarez even when people said he was too small. He became undisputed across more than one weight class. He is ranked number 1 pound for pound. He represents the sport at the highest level, and yet he is the one being punished. That alone makes the whole situation feel wrong.
Mauricio, I appreciate you. Because everybody in the world know you was going for Canelo. You was mad that I beat Canelo. It's okay. It happens, you know? But if you a real fan of the sport, you would have, said congratulations instead of having that little smirk on your face, all mad and pouting. But listen though, you should have took the money and you should have been thankful and grateful that I was rocking your belt around as your champion. They got they ranking systems when people be mandatories for years, like Benavidez. Yeah. They don't strip these fighters, but I give credit to the IBF. They stripped me. They ain't even give me time. They stripped me, popped me, even though I wasn't, coming back down the way, but, they handled their business. They did what they were supposed to do. The WBC, you ain't never see them strip no Canelo for no Benavidez. He was what, mandatory for like 2 years?
Now let us look at what really took place and ask if this was only a rule issue or if Terence Crawford was placed in a bad position from the very beginning. The moment his titles were taken away, people started questioning it, because this is the same fighter who just became the most discussed name in boxing worldwide. He has reached a new level of fame. His popularity is at its highest. He is appearing in major interviews, leading big events, and dominating headlines everywhere. Right now, he is the most valuable name in the sport. Because of that, when a sanctioning group removed his belt at this exact time, many fighters felt something was not right, and the decision did not sit well with them.
He did not comply with the rules. Then he moves up to super middle and makes the fight of the century, beats Canelo, makes $50 million or around that. The WBC absolutely is not going to charge 3% of such an amount. We made a very clear 0.6%, which is $300,000, with $225,000 going to the Jose Sulaiman Boxers Fund, which is to help former fighters in need. And it is just regrettable. Not even a thank you or I'm sorry, taking a different route. No response. I wish him the best. But this is not. The WBC is huge, it's great. It's about greatness, and I'm relieved, to tell you the truth.
Many people had different opinions about what happened. Some believed it was a form of punishment. Others felt it was simply a business move. A few even claimed it was driven by greed. No matter the opinion, the reaction was the same: confusion and disbelief. For a long time, fans and fighters have criticized the politics that control boxing. However, what happened to Crawford pushed that discussion much further. It revealed how disorganized, unfair, and broken the entire system truly is.
How's it going, guys? I'm Travis with Weighing In with Travis Hartman. Today, I'm going to weigh in on the recent WBC stripping Terence Crawford of his title because he refused to pay a sanctioning fee. Crawford has now made a video that said he didn't refuse it. He negotiated to pay a sanctioning fee, the same thing he paid to the other world title belts. He didn't want to pay the 3%, which is typical by the WBC. The WBC is now claiming they offered 0.6% of his reported purse of $50 million, said that they would take $300,000. That's a lot of money.
This is the moment when voices across boxing began speaking up, especially former champions, insiders, and people who truly understand how things operate behind closed doors. One of the first was Floyd Mayweather, and he did not filter his words at all. He said what many upset fighters have wanted to say for years but were afraid to speak out loud. He pointed out that the sport has too many belts and that this problem keeps hurting boxing over and over again.
I want to say this right now about the sport of boxing. I don't want everybody at home to hear me when I say this. A belt, I'm tired and I'm at home, and this goes for any company. I don't care if it's Top Rank, if it's Golden Boy, if it's Mayweather Promotions, if it's PBC. There's too many champions in the sport of boxing right now. Too many champions. It's not a such thing as a super champion, not at all. And I'm not taking nothing away from no fighter. It's too many belts.
Floyd explained that most casual fans do not understand how serious this issue really is. They do not know that every championship belt comes with a required payment. Each time a fighter defends, wins, or even keeps a title, they must pay a sanctioning fee. These payments are not small and they add up quickly. Floyd said the system is built in a way that constantly takes money from fighters. It never stops and it continues even after the fight is over, which is why fighters are always being charged again and again.
Seeing fighters after the fight, everybody got a championship belt now. Now boxing, all these belts is like trophies. The WBC, the WBA, the IBF and the WBO, y'all gotta clean this shit up. Y'all have to clean this up. This is bad for boxing. Ain't there such thing as no super champion. You guys are just taking extra money from all these fighters, getting extra money from sanctioning fees. And this goes for my company as well. We gotta clean this sport of boxing up. This don't look good. When you look on TV now, everybody's a champion.
When Crawford lost his titles, Floyd's words carried even more weight. He explained that when a sport is filled with too many belts, too many fees, too many rules, and too much politics, situations like this are bound to happen. His message was simple: boxing is damaging itself by allowing this kind of system to continue.
Turkey a la Sheik. I have an idea on how you can fix boxing almost forever. Turkey, it is understood and no mystery that you have a ton of. You already have it to the point where everybody is just fighting each other and people are getting exposed and we're finding out who the best is. Now all we need is one title. If you can buy out all the sanctioning bodies and replace it with that one undisputed belt. One belt, one champion, like back in the day. And now everybody got to fight the champ. And hell, he shouldn't even have to pay a sanctioning fee.
Then Lamont Roach stepped in and unexpectedly brought a new angle to the discussion. He explained that at one stage the sanctioning fee for Crawford was actually reduced and that all fighters, including Crawford, are expected to pay these costs. Lamont kept his point very direct and clear. He said this is simply how the boxing system operates and everyone involved has to deal with it whether they like it or not.
You know, it's just another chance to prove to the world that I'm one of the best in the world.
So Canelo, Crawford's going off about the WBC and their sanctioning fees. Have you paid sanctioning fees, or what do you think about sanctioning fees?
Well, I fought for a numerous amount of titles, world or, you know, smaller, so I paid sanctioning fees for sure. But
3 members of Pete Roach will be making that ring walk.
It's tough.
At the
he made an insane amount of money. So 3% of an insane amount of money is a lot of money.
0.6%.
I think they lowered it for him, maybe. But it's, I mean, it's cool. It's not like everybody hasn't done it. Everybody's been doing it. So, you know.
Then Joe Rogan entered the conversation, and his past discussion with Crawford suddenly became very relevant. When Bud appeared on Rogan's show, he openly said that it feels like he is paying sanctioning bodies just so they can create a belt for him. He said many of these titles no longer hold real value and do not mean much anymore. According to him, the only championship that truly matters is the Ring Magazine belt because it is earned through performance, not money. It is the only one that feels real and respected. Rogan immediately agreed with him and backed everything he said.
Like, come on now.
Right, crazy.
It's like I'm paying you to make me a belt. You're not paying me. So
Right.
the only one that really matters is the ring belt because it's free. It's free. Like, why do I gotta pay to be champion?
Yeah.
Once you start thinking about that, like, dang,
Yeah.
I'm paying all this money.
And the Ring Magazine belt is as respected as any of them.
Then Bill Haney joined the conversation, and his viewpoint was one of the most sensible. He said fighters should only pay sanctioning fees if they agree to them. These payments should be set and clear before a fight, not decided afterward, not randomly, and not in ways that disrupt a fighter's progress or create confusion in the division.
Now I hear this narrative, this new narrative that you don't have to be a champion. You don't have to be a champion. That's a falsehood. Somewhere, everyone started thinking that they have to pay for the sanctioning fees. Right, that's what the public, right? If you take a look at the public and what everyone is saying, the fans are, you shouldn't have to pay for. Well, we don't pay the sanctioning fees.
Comes out of the check.
No. It's decided way before the fight even happens. Who's going to pay the sanctioning fees? Well, if you deliver a world title fight to a network, the network is going to pick up the sanctioning fees. Yeah, the network is going to put enough in the budget. Listen, we need to knock it off and stop.
Not every time, because I remember Wilder complaining he had to pay $40,000.
And he was correct. These fees have a real impact. They influence who a fighter faces next. They change how fights are promoted. In Crawford's case, they even affected his championship status. The debate became even more heated when Rolly Romero shared a completely different opinion. Rolly said if a fighter wins a belt, they should pay for it. From his point of view, a title is what earns a fighter money. It builds excitement and draws attention. If holding a belt helps a fighter make millions, then it makes sense that they should cover the cost.
What's the deal with boxers paying fees for belts? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, that's normal. It's called sanctioning fee.
Is that fair?
Yeah. Fight for their belt, you better pay their damn money, because if you don't have a belt, you're not making as much money anyways. Let's say, for instance, right, you find me a deal for $1 million, but you want 300,000. Okay, that's a lot of money. But I wouldn't have had the fucking million to begin with if it wasn't for you.
If it wasn't for fun.
Pay the sanctioning fee. Stop being a cheap fuck.
But that same approach was not applied to Crawford, because taking a title from someone like Bud does more than just create an open spot. It resets entire divisions and changes everything. That is where much of the frustration comes from. One of the most surprising reactions came from someone nobody expected to defend Crawford. Errol Spence Jr. The fighter Bud defeated the one fans assumed might mock him, instead spoke out in support. He agreed with Floyd, pointing to the same problem: too many belts, too many sanctioning bodies, the system is broken. What makes this situation even more unbelievable is that Crawford did not actually need these belts. After defeating Canelo, he reached a new level. He is not only pound for pound number one, he is now considered by many an all-time great. He does not need titles to prove himself. He does not need sanctioning bodies to validate him. His place in boxing history is already secure.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab. He used his distance. He had poise in the ring. He wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford's part.
But the reason fighters are upset is not that Crawford is losing anything. It is because he does not deserve this. A true champion should not lose titles outside the ring. A champion should not be punished for business rules. Crawford built his entire career on hard work skill and defeating the best opponents. He earned his status through performance, not politics. And now the politics of the sport are trying to take away what he legitimately won.
You know, I see Mauricio, you know, got a lot to say about me not paying him $300,000 plus another $100K something for sanction fees, right? Then he gonna tell me I ain't even apologize? Like, who the fuck you think I am? Boy, you better slap your fucking self. Ain't paying your ass shit. Fuck you talking about pay you $300,000. What makes you so motherfucking better than any other sanctioned bodies? Huh? Answer that question. What makes you better than the WBO, the IBF, or the WBA? Everybody accepted what I was giving them. But you, the WBC, think that you better than everybody, don't you? So since you, the WBC, and you got the fucking green belt, which don't mean fucking shit, the fucking real belt is the ring belt, which is free, motherfucker. What are you talking about? You want me to pay you more than the other sanctioned bodies because you feel like you better than them. How in the world all the sanctioned bodies agree to the same amount, but you sit your motherfucking ass up there and say that I need to apologize to you? The fuck? You can take the fucking belt.
But what makes this situation even more shocking is the timing. This did not happen when Crawford was still underrated. It did not happen when people questioned his abilities. It happened now when Crawford is the face of boxing after the biggest victory of his career, after showing the world he is the best fighter alive.
I'm not worried about it being, three sanctioned bodies, 4 sanctioned bodies, but it's just a lot. Like all these junior titles, and they made the secondary builds and just made intern builds, and you just got a lot of builds and people paying fees on it too. So it's just, I feel like it's too many belts in boxing, basically watered it down because people winning world titles and they're not earning none of the world titles. So I feel like it's just been watering down boxing. It's gonna be more on the fighters that active now to talk about it and to make a change, because everybody need to be held accountable, not just the boxers need to be held accountable. Yeah. Promoters need to be held accountable, the managers need to be held accountable, and the sanctioning bodies need to be held accountable.
That timing made fans furious and led many to believe this was planned. Whether that is true or not, no one can say for certain, but the timing alone looks questionable. It happened right when Crawford became a danger to every champion across every weight class. As soon as he reached that level, the titles were gone. That is why so many people across boxing feel something is not right, and why this situation continues to raise serious doubts.
Hey, yo, peace to the family. I saw a video yesterday of Mauricio Suleiman basically saying that he stripped Terence Crawford of their WBC belt, the belt that he won in September, right? This happens all the time. I think this happened before, right? As soon as he win a belt or whatever, they take it, right? So, of course, we know Crawford is not a true super middleweight. He's not going to campaign there. So I do get it, I understand. But what got me was this. Mauricio Suleiman spoke about the sanctioning fees. He said, look, man, he didn't pay us the money he's supposed to pay us. He made $50 million his last fight. Mauricio Suleiman, that's what you said. And of course, I already knew that. He made $50 million and he didn't pay us the 3%. But you said that, we normally charge more, but we're not going to charge him the regular 3% that we normally charge. We was going to charge him less, and he didn't pay you, so he took your belt. Well, you can have your belt. As Floyd Mayweather once said, belts mean nothing. Tank Davis said that, again, I'm quoting Tank and Floyd, belts don't mean anything. You can have your belts. The ring belt is the belt anyways. That's the real belt. That was the belt that was around before WBC, IBF, WBA, or WBO. That's the real belt. You dig? That's the one that Rocky Balboa had in his movie. You dig? So it is what it is. Now, you can have your belt. Bud did the right thing by not paying you. Mauricio Suleiman, you talking like he did like you did him a favor or whatever the case may be. Like it's amazing. Y'all have this position as though, you guys got to stay in your place. Like Crawford's supposed to stay in his place, or certain other black fighters or whatever. You got to stay in your place and you jump when we say jump. You let Canelo do what he want to do. Canelo went years without fighting his mandatory David Benavidez. It's cool. Bud win the belt in September. You strip him in December. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Again, life isn't fair. I'm not complaining. The man made a boatload of money. Both guys did. I'm not complaining, but it is what it is. What's good?
Oscar de la Hoya had a very different take. He criticized Crawford, saying that if Bud earned $50 million from the Canelo fight, then paying $300,000 to keep his belts should not be a problem. To Oscar, that is part of being a champion. You handle the business, pay the fees, and keep your titles. He felt Crawford refusing to pay made him look bad and was not what a top champion should do. But the truth is Crawford will be fine. He does not need belts to sell fights. He does not need belts to make millions. He does not need belts to show his greatness. He is already greatness and has proven it in the ring. Every sanctioning body knows it, even if they pretend otherwise. Crawford has reached a level where his legacy matters more than any gold plates or leather straps. He could retire today and still be remembered as one of the greatest fighters ever.
Thank you, GOAT, because you are the GOAT of this era. Terence Bud Crawford.
But at the end of the day, when you remove all the opinions, the drama, and the heated takes, it comes down to one simple fact. Boxing has far too many belts. Every division has multiple champions, including interim champions, regular champions, and super champions. Even dedicated fans often struggle to keep track. That is why incidents like Crawford losing his titles feel less like a problem with Bud himself and more like a problem with the entire system.